Bone here, and it is time for us to recap and review the 2025 F1 Canadian Grand Prix race weekend that featured that shocking crash between McLaren teammates Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, which is obviously where we're going to start right now. Bone! Massive news. The Formula One crash that we all knew was going to happen finally happened. Earlier this F1 season, McLaren CEO Zak Brown said that it was, quote, definitely a matter of when and not if McLaren teammates Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri would crash into each other this season while battling each other as the two favorites to win the 2025 F1 World Drivers' Championship, and he was right. He also said, quote, I am kind of looking forward to getting it over with because I don't think it is going to be anywhere near as exciting as everyone thinks. And he was wrong. Here is what happened. McLaren split tire strategies with their two drivers for the Canadian Grand Prix, and it ended up resulting in Lando Norris in P5, just behind and having a tire advantage over Oscar Piastri in P4, come lap 62 of 70. This tire advantage of Lando's was due to a combination of Lando's hard tires being 2 laps fresher than Oscar's, and also less degraded than Oscar's, as Piastri was putting his tires to work as he tried to pass Kimi Antonelli for P3 for the previous 8 or so laps. From the end of lap 62 through the end of lap 66, the two Papaya teammates were putting on an absolute masterclass in clean yet exciting racing for F1 fans around the globe as they jockeyed for position and played cat and mouse without making contact at all. That is, until the start of lap 67, when Lando Norris seemingly lost his patience and went for what can only be described by me, Bone, as a boneheaded move. As the car clearly in front going down the pit straight toward turn 1, Oscar was always going to defend the inside line. This is because taking the inside line would give Oscar the best chance of staying in front, as it would force Lando to either stay behind him going through turn 1 or attempt a risky late braking move on the longer outside line if he wanted to attempt an overtake on Oscar. Lando surely knew Oscar was going to defend the inside line and clearly saw Oscar doing so, as you can see from his onboard camera, but either wishful thinking, over-aggression, bad depth perception, or some combination of those factors led Lando to attempt to go on the inside of Oscar, run out of space, rear-end Oscar, hit the wall, and knock his car out of the race, effectively ending the Canadian Grand Prix in the process, as it would go on to end under the safety car Lando's boneheaded move brought out. To his credit, Lando literally immediately took responsibility for the collision, with the first words that he gave to his race engineer after saying he was okay being, I'm sorry, it's all my bad, all my fault, unlucky, sorry, stupid from me. Lando would also go on to apologize to Oscar after the race and further claim full responsibility with zero blame on Oscar. Remember those Zak Brown quotes I gave you earlier? Another quote from him in that same interview was, quote, it'll be a racing incident when that day comes, so it is inevitable. They are two great characters, neither of them are hotheads, so we are not worried about it. And to his credit, he was right about it being a racing incident. However, I do think it was highly exciting, like he said it wasn't going to be, and also, I think you could call Lando's move hot-headed, as it was so incredibly ambitious to the point where nobody can look at it and claim that he really ever had a chance of making that thing work. What are your thoughts on the McLaren crash heard around the world? Let me know in the comments. Before we move on to discussing additional Canadian Grand Prix storylines, a new business is oftentimes called a small business, but there's nothing small about starting your own company. And my partner Shopify knows this because they were once a small business. And that is why you should trust them to help you with your small business. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started like maybe yours. Tackle all the important tasks in one place, from inventory to payments to analytics and more. Shopify makes the marketing minefield easy with built-in tools for running social media and email campaigns so you can find new customers and keep them. In person more your thing? Shopify's award-winning point of sale connects your online and offline sales all in one place. With 99.99% uptime and the best converting checkout on the planet, you will never miss a sale again, only with Shopify. Get all the big stuff for your small business right with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/fbone. Go to shopify.com/fbone, shopify.com/fbone. Next, here are the biggest results from the 2025 F1 Canadian Grand Prix weekend. Mercedes' George Russell had a perfect drive to win the Canadian Grand Prix from his first pole position of the season, to achieve his first win of the season and fourth career Grand Prix victory. George is in impeccable form right now, and maybe I'm delusional for saying this, but he is not out of the World Drivers' Championship title fight just yet if he can keep putting in performances like this one. P2 went to Max Verstappen, whose team Red Bull appealed George Russell's victory in hopes that Max would inherit the race win. George's erratic driving behind the safety car at the end of the race was called into question by Red Bull, but unfortunately for them, the stewards did not believe that George deserved any sort of penalty for his actions. P3 went to Mercedes' rookie Kimi Antonelli in what was his first ever F1 podium. What's more, Formula One history was just made at the Canadian Grand Prix. 18-year-old Mercedes rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli finished in third place at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve to become just the third teenager to achieve a podium finish in Formula One history. Additionally, Kimi is only the third F1 driver since 2017 to achieve a podium finish in their rookie season. Kimi had a very interesting exchange with Toto Wolff over team radio after taking the checkered flag. He said, "Today was a Kimi," to which Toto responded, "A Kimi is back, no Andrea today," implying to me that they have like some sort of inside joke where Antonelli is named Kimi when he's driving well and Andrea when he isn't, I think. That's what I got from that. I just thought that was interesting. About achieving his first F1 podium, Kimi said, quote, "It was much better than what I imagined. Hearing the crowd while walking onto the podium, I had massive goosebumps. I do not think that I, J-Bone, am alone in believing that this is the first of many podiums for one of the most impressive and promising rookies Formula One has produced in recent years." The real question is this: do you think that Kimi Antonelli gets a race win this year? Let me know in the comments. P4 went to Oscar Piastri, who was extremely fortunate to not be completely knocked out of the race by his McLaren teammate Lando Norris, who attempted the most foolish move you will ever see late in the race that ended with Lando rear-ending Oscar and knocking himself out of the race when he was on to finish in the top 5. Because Lando's brain momentarily broke, P5 instead went to Charles Leclerc, who finished just ahead of his disappointed Ferrari teammate Lewis Hamilton in P6. The story of how Lewis Hamilton had his Canadian Grand Prix ruined is super depressing. You have been warned. The Canadian Grand Prix's Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is located in a park situated on Montreal's man-made Notre Dame Island. No humans live on Notre Dame Island, but it does have some permanent residents in the form of extremely adorable and cute groundhogs. Because they're so adorable and ever-present around Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, these groundhogs have actually become the Canadian Grand Prix's mascots, most notably Gary the Groundhog, who became famous for either his bravery or stupidity, depending on how you look at it, when it came to running across the circuit during F1 sessions and almost getting hit by cars. I think you see where this story's going. Yes, on lap 12, Lewis Hamilton sadly collided with one of the groundhogs, which caused a ton of damage to his car, and sadly, the groundhog. Lewis, who is an outspoken animal welfare advocate and vegan, had this to say about the sad accident, quote, "That's devastating. I love animals, and that's so sad. That's never happened to me here before." The damage Lewis's car took on, combined with some brake issues and other factors, to see Lewis drop from P5 to P7, where he would have ended up had Lando not yeeted himself into his teammate at the end of the race. A sincere rest in peace to that groundhog. I do hope that we can find some way to keep the groundhogs off the racetrack, because nobody wants to see this happen again. P7 went to Fernando Alonso to make it back-to-back points finishes for him after he started the season without a single point beforehand. You love to see it. El plan. P8 went to Nico Hülkenberg to make it back-to-back points finishes for him after only one previous points finish this season. Nico Hülkenberg's impressing me in a major way right now, and if he can keep driving like this and Audi gets their car right next year, I think it is extremely possible that Hulk finally sheds Formula One's most depressing record of him being the driver with the most races without a podium or win in F1 history. P9 went to Haas's Esteban Ocon to give Haas just their second points finish in the last 6 races, and P10 went to Carlos Sainz to keep Williams from going pointless in back-to-back races. Next up, here's how J-Bone's F1 Rookie of the Year race is looking after the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. As a reminder, I am judging the F1 rookies all season long based on their performances relative to their cars, not just points scored. After each race, I award my last place rookie 0 points and my first place rookie 5 points, and the winner of J-Bone's F1 Rookie of the Year race will be the rookie with the most points come the end of the season. Here is how my 2025 rookie standings looked entering the Canadian Grand Prix, and here are my Canadian Grand Prix rookie rankings. These were admittedly pretty hard to do considering only one rookie had a good weekend at all. In last place, it's V-Carb rookie Liam Lawson, who got eliminated in Q1 while his rookie teammate made Q3. In 5th place, I have Sauber rookie Gabby Bortoleto, who got vastly outclassed by his teammate Nico Hulkenberg and who then had a nothing burger race. In 4th place, I'm going to go with Alpine rookie Franco Colapinto, who outqualified his experienced teammate Pierre Gasly and started the race P10, not bad, before ending the race P13 in what was another nothing burger race for the rookies. In 3rd place, it's V-Carb rookie Isaac Hadjar, who qualified P9 impressively, but who got a penalty for impeding, even though it was kind of his team's fault, and then who, during the race, dropped a ton of positions, also kind of his team's fault, but, you know. In 2nd place, I have Haas rookie Ollie Behrman, who just missed out on the points at P11 from P13 on the starting grid. And in 1st place, it's, of course, this is not even a question, Mercedes rookie Kimi Antonelli, who became just the 3rd teenager ever to finish on an F1 podium, and just the 3rd rookie since 2017 to finish on an F1 podium. Grande Kimi, not Andrea. That's a Kimi. So here are the updated J-Bone's F1 Rookie of the Year race standings headed into Austria. Let me know your thoughts on them in the comments. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy, just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. And it makes a huge difference. I mean, huge. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring so fast because they have streamlined the process so your business can get back to business faster. Plus, with Indeed sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts, and you only pay for results. There is no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/FBone. Just go to Indeed.com/FBone right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/FBone. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need. Go there. Do it. You won't. Finally today, we need to talk about how my 3 bona-fide F1 Canadian Grand Prix race predictions ended up because it has huge L-bone implications. My first race prediction was that George Russell would finish on the podium in Canada, and ding ding, J-Bone got that one right. J-Bone! Not only did George finish on the podium in Canada, but he won the whole dang Grand Prix after 3 races in a row off the podium to prove that J-Bone does, in fact, know wheel. J-Bone! My second race prediction was that Max Verstappen would not finish on the podium in Canada, and Max did finish on the podium in Canada because of course he did, as he always drives well there. Don't know what I was thinking, and this kind of provides evidence to the contrary that maybe I don't know wheel. But don't worry, folks. My third race prediction was that Fernando Alonso would finish in the points in Canada, and ding ding, J-Bone also got that one right because I do in fact know wheel, which is why I went 2 for 3 with my Canadian Grand Prix race predictions. J-Bone, J-Bone! Shout out to Fernando Alonso for turning his season around these last 2 races after that super unlucky start to the season. Soon enough, water will find its level, and Fernando Alonso will pass his Aston Martin teammate Lance Stroll in the World Drivers' Championship, and the universe will once again be back in balance. All of this means that I am at 13 for 30, aka 43% for the season thus far with my race predictions. And there are 2 races remaining, the Austrian Grand Prix and British Grand Prix, before the 2025 F1 season is halfway done. If you do the math, you will realize that I need to go at least 5 for 6 with my Austrian and British Grand Prix race predictions in order to be at 50% by the time this F1 season is halfway over. And in case you didn't know, I absolutely need to be at 50% after the Austrian and British Grand Prix, because if I'm not at 50% halfway through the F1 season, oh boy, my name turns from J-Bone into L-Bone until I get back to 50% on account of how many L's that means I'm taking. Do you think that I will be able to avoid becoming L-Bone before the second half of the season hits by going 5 for 6 with my next 6 race predictions? Let me know in the comments by commenting, I'm smart if you think I will, and I'm dumb if you think I won't. J-Bone. Toss me a subscription now and ring that notification bell so that you'll get my Austrian Grand Prix preview video next week right when it drops. And while you're doing that, do not forget to like this video so that YouTube likes J-Bone more. Seriously, liking this video really helps me out, and I'm trying to get 3,000 likes on it. It'd be amazing if you could help me do that. Special shout out to my top YouTube channel members: Joe Max's #1 hater Snow, Brian Linton, Wolfso's Racing, Waffleopicus, Melissa Cruz, Zuber, the Tater, and David Hake. Mash that join button just below this video to get your name shouted out right here in future videos. And if you want to join 1,000 plus F1 fans in the free to join Formula Bone Discord community, you can go do that through the join link in the description. Until next time, folks, J-Bon! J-Bon!